All right, we need to talk about it because it's been brought up so much by other channels. Um, Specifically, it's been brought up by Derek from More Plates, More Dates a lot, and that is this TikTok craze that's going around. Well, I guess I should technically say multiple TikTok crazes. But before we get into it, I have no medical training. I am not a chemist. I am not a doctor, nor do I pretend to be one. I do not encourage the use of any substances, legal or illegal, and this video is strictly for educational and entertainment purposes only. So TikTok, apparently people have been recording their reports to try dangerous compounds and research compounds, or chemicals, I should say, such as SARMs. They refer to them as SARMs, goblins, and obviously Tren is one that is so often talked about. Tren and DNP, which is, I have a whole video on DNP. You can find it in my catalog. I do not like DNP, and I do not advocate for it. So with people trying these, I don't think a lot of them realize the risk reward ratio, especially the fact that most of them are under the age of 18, making it so, I mean, not that 18 is a magical number, but most of them aren't even close to fully developed as far as the relationship of what their body's actually going through in a hormonal status like this. So let's say, for example, I take a very suppressive SARM like S23 that can essentially shut me down. I don't take an estrogen base. Well, now I have no estrogen in my body, and I have no testosterone because my body is thinking, oh, well, this whatever this hormone is it's essentially fulfilling the role of the testosterone, and if you don't have testosterone, it won't aromatize into estrogen, and then you also don't have DHT. Well, that's a big flippin' problem because there are so many roles that need to be carried out by testosterone and estrogen in your body, and the fact of the matter is S23 is not going to cover all of those roles, and could potentially be, I mean, is obviously neuro and cardiotoxic in and of itself, as well as long-term ramifications of mental health disorders that could accrue from not using even something as simple as an estrogen base, which is why people under the age of 18, or honestly under the age of 21, doing a lot of this without the research is so upsetting. When I did anything, including my pro-hormones, not saying I'm like a genius or anything, because I'm not, the amount of research that I piled into every single thing I looked at, and the fact that I went through and tried to find studies on, for example, how much of 19-nor-testosterone of 19-nor-DHEA actually gets turned into 19-nor-testosterone in the body. The answer is not that much. It still has a potent effect, but it's not that much. And I bet you if you asked a TikToker about a lot of these things, people under the age of 18, they wouldn't know. Granted, I could be wrong, but the other issue is a lot of them don't even have defined bone structures yet. They haven't even fully developed. Their growth plates haven't closed. And why is this dangerous? So let's say they're taking something like a high testosterone cycle or something, and they're doing 500 milligrams of testosterone because their buddy told them to, and they're 16, or Dianabol or something like that. They could theoretically, they could prematurely shut their growth plates because of the influx of estrogen, because the influx of estrogen is what actually closes your growth plates. Now, not to mention the subsequent crash if they're cycling, which most of these people are, because it's not logical within their, usually the amount of money that they have to be able to pay for large amounts of things like that. So, it bothers me that such young people are doing this, and more so, it's not necessarily that they're doing it, it's the fact that they're not doing it ethically, responsibly, and they're not saying what inherent risks come with these things, as well as the fact that there have been like some... So the thing is, I'm not trying to be someone wagging their finger at the youngins, because I'm still 21. I still make mistakes all the time, and, it happens. And I still think, being experimental, it's okay, but I think people should go about doing it ethically, responsibly, and also knowing the risks. A lot of these people I don't think actually fully understand the risks. Many of these people say, oh, I'm going on trend because this guy told me to, and this is how much he told me to take. And then they don't look into it any further. Or when they do, they only look up positive feedback, thus providing an echo chamber. You always want to find extremely negative, like, I think it's important to find medium views, extremely negative views, extremely positive views of all of these things. That's why I follow a wide array of people when they talk about different substances when it comes to bodybuilding pharmacology, because if I just listened to one side of the argument that was extremely negative, or one side of the argument that was extremely positive, I would never hear the actual truth, and I would never actually develop my own opinion. Now, it also just bothers me that people are when they're choosing chemical compounds this young, they're choosing things like tren, which can permanently alter your personality. From what we know, at least from anecdotal reports, we know it can permanently alter your personality because it has such a strong effect on the brain. It's also known to be one of the only injectable compounds to ever affect the kidneys, the liver, and cause mental problems. This is not something you want to take as a teenager, nor do you, I mean, honestly, you wouldn't ever want to take it, but especially not as a teenager when you're trying to fully develop, and you could potentially stunt a part of your development or possibly mess up your prefrontal cortex. I mean, there's so many different elements to this that I just think is quite silly, but I would like to hear your guys' opinions, because obviously I'm nobody's parent, and I'm not a doctor. I tell you that in every video, but I would like to hear your opinions. I like when people do things ethically and responsibly. I am for experimentation, but I'm for it in a very cautious, I guess you could say, low-dose titration manner, kind of like how More Plates, More Dates would say it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you were on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notifications. Leave a comment and like the video if I didn't already say that. And if you are on Rumble, please hit the Rumble button and follow my channel and leave a comment. And until the next one, guys, please have your shoulders back and down while you're lifting, and I hope you have a good one.